Hello again and welcome to the Citiuation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. On Citiuation Room, as you know, we talk pure politics, anything that has to do with politics in this country. Well, the New Patriotic Party is still in the news. As you are aware, the party is preparing for the January 31st, 2026 presidential primaries to elect who will lead the party go into the election of 2028. We are hearing that there's some latest development as far as who becomes the next flag bearer of the NPP is concerned. As you're aware, on Friday, the party will hold balloting for the various aspirants who will lead the party in the election. And so on Friday, the party headquarters will be busy, where the presidential candidate themselves or their representatives will be there to take positions on the ballot paper.
Love the Premier League? Your DSTV premium subscription could get you there in real life, Charlie. Stay connected for your chance to watch the Premier League live. Man U versus Man City at Old Trafford or Arsenal versus Man U in London. Stay connected to score with DSTV Premium. This promo is regulated by the NNA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
For social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
Hi, welcome back. You're still watching The Citiuation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. In The Citiuation Room, we talk politics, and the New Patriotic Party is our focus today. The party is preparing to elect a new flag bearer come the 2028 general election. And on the 31st of January, that particular election will take place. But this afternoon, we are picking some information and some development. We are told that the National Council of the NPP has put on hold the nomination of one of the aspirants, which is Kwamene J. Japon's nomination. In a short while, we'll go to the camp of Kwamene Japan to speak to his director of communications for the campaign on this new media reports that we are hearing as far as this election is concerned. But until then, my name is Sammi Wiafe, and as always, I do this with Fred Tete Ijawano. Fred, how are you?
Sammi, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm well. How's your week been?
It's been okay. It's been okay. It's been fine.
How's your week been like? In terms of news, political development?
Sammi, the week has been quite interesting. As you said, we are discussing the MPP and what happened, what has been happening within the party. And still remaining within the MPP this week, the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Chairman Wuntumi, was put before court. Don't forget that Chairman Wuntumi some months ago was invited by Yoko and also invited by the CID. First by the CID, and picked up at the CID office by Yoko, where he spent a number of days in the custody of Yoko. The first invitation, which had to do with the CID, with regards to some mining issues, issues with illegal galamsey and his company, Akonta Mining, came back on the 4th this week. He was invited by the CID. His charges were read to him. He was then put before a court where he's been charged in relation to breaking the law when it comes to the regulations for mining. He's been accused of entering the forest without permission, mining without permission, putting up structures without permission in the forest. So the week started with Chairman Wontumi. He was granted bail anyway. He was granted a 1 million CD bail, which we are told that he has met. As we speak now, the case has been adjourned, and Chairman Wontumi would go back later. And I'm talking about Chairman Wontumi. You recall that last week he was one of the people we spoke about who wanted or who is planning to contest the MPP chairmanship come 2028 or come 2026 when the party opens nominations.
I'm reliably informed that the party is looking at between August and September to elect national officers. For the party. Yeah.
So this would be after the presidential
the election. Yeah.
So as we speak now, he is one of the people contesting. But as people are gearing up to contest national positions, the flag bearership position is also becoming very interesting. We know that the candidates went through a vetting process last week. We were told that the report of the vetting committee or the elections committee was sent before the National Council of the party. Since Tuesday, we've been hearing some news within the party, which is indicating, like you mentioned, that apart from the 4 people who contested, apart from the other 5 people, all the 5 people who contested, one person seems to have an issue, and this has to do with something with relation to a developmental fee, which the candidates have to pay. Sammi, you have been following this particular issue since it came up. What is the vetting committee saying? I know you've had some reports on the conclusion of the vetting committee's work. And what is it saying? And why is Kwabena Agyapong having issues as we speak now?
Well, we're told that one of the requirements to become a flag bearer, or to qualify to be one of the aspirants for the MPP in their presidential primaries, was the flag bearer or the candidate to be able to raise some amount of money, which is 4 million cedis as development levy or development fee for the party. We are told that all the aspirants have been able to raise that particular amount, but Kwabena Agyapong is having a bit of a challenge in raising that particular amount of money. And so when the National Council and National Executive Committee met yesterday, there was a meeting at the Elisa Hotel, and that issue, came up. We are told that till today, he's unable to raise the required amount of money required to contest in the primaries. And so the National Council has decided to put his candidature on hold or on ice till he's able to raise the said amount of money, which was a requirement before you picked up nomination forms to contest the primaries. And we also reliably informed that until that is done, he may be asked to withdraw from the race. As to whether the National Council is able to do that or not. As you're aware, tomorrow, on Friday, there's going to be a picking of ballot positions. And so if Kwabena Agyapong is unable to raise this amount of money as required by the National Council and per the rules put down before you contest this primaries, he may not be a part of those who will have their faces on the ballot come the 31st of January 2026.
So let's get some clarification here. So the development fee is 4 million.
Yes.
This is separate,
it's separate
from
the filing fee.
Okay.
It's separate. The party has always done this for the first time, even for parliamentary candidates. Those who want to contest in the parliamentary level are always asked to pay certain levy, especially in constituencies where you have certain MPP MPs. You are asked to pay some levies for development. For the orphan constituencies, these things are not done. And so they introduced that same thing in the presidential primaries. And so that's what is causing the challenge for Mr. Kwabena Agyapong.
Is this the same fee which got the former MP from Mampong, Adainimo, to withdraw from the race?
Yes, it's the same. It's the same development fee. But a lot of people criticize that it's too huge. 4 million cedis is quite a lot of money for a candidate to raise. But then there are others who also make the counter argument that if you want to be a leader of the party, you want to be a president of the country, you must be resourceful enough to be able to raise any amount you are asked to raise by the party and per, the dictates of the MPP directive. So
before we got here, I recall some months back when the party announced this 400 million thing. People like Kwabena Japan raised concerns about it.
Yeah.
What was his concern when it was announced initially?
At the launch of his campaign at his party headquarters, he raised issues with this, as you mentioned. He said that the MPP is gradually becoming a monetized party, or too much money influence within the MPP. And so it's about time they check this thing. So I don't know if because of that, that is why he's having challenge. But let's get some clarification on this matter. Let's speak to the Director of Communications for the Kwabena J. Japan campaign team. Joining us on the phone now is Paul Rahman Issa Doona to tell us more about this development as we are hearing. Paul, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. Hello, Paul, can you hear me?
Hello, my brother. I can hear you. I trust you're doing well.
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Doona.
Good.
We are getting media reports that your boss may not be able to contest the upcoming primaries because of some developments within his campaign, especially the payment or the raising of the 4 million development fee. Is that the case? And what more can you tell us?
Thank you, my brother, and good afternoon once again to you and your colleague in the studio and to your viewers. You know that, my brother, you know the NPP is a very well-structured political party. It has its own internal mechanisms. Things are not done arbitrarily in the party. It's a party that has had the opportunity to govern this country. In this fourth republic, it has done 16 years. Out of the number of years we've done so far. So it's a well-organized political party, by and large. As it stands now, what I can tell you is that Engineer Kwabena Japan is still in the race. I'm sure, as a media person, I don't think you have any official communication from the party saying he has been withdrawn. Tomorrow, I think I heard you say tomorrow is balloting. We are part of the balloting. We are going to take part in the balloting. So we are okay. We are engaging the delegates. We are telling them why they should select Engineer Kwabena Japan as the flag bearer and why he's the best person for the country and the best person for the party. So far we are good. We are waiting for our balloting tomorrow, God willing, and then we take it from there.
Has he been able to raise the said amount?
Oh yeah, my brother. In fact, as a campaign, we decided that this is an internal political issue. We are not going to litigate it in public. As you know, the Kwabena Japan style has never been to argue in the party that he spent the past 33 years of his life fighting for. The issue regarding this 4 million payment, he's made it clear that in principle he's against it. The party too has made its point why they think that we have to pay that amount. At vetting, he was asked, he made his position clear, and even at the vetting, he committed that, look, if it's about development, he commits to contributing substantially to the development of the party when the need arises. His issue has always been that shouldn't be a prerequisite for contesting the progressive of the party. So whatever issue it is, we are dealing with it internally. As you know, even when he was orchestrated out as General Secretary, he never said anything publicly or brought any acrimony on his account. So this is not going to be new. The party knows its position. The party has also stated its position. We are litigating it internally. And so far as we've not heard anything from the party officially that he's been taken out of the flag bearership race, it means that we are still in it. And we are not going to make a view and cry about it in public. Whatever the issue is, see a true and true party person who will litigate it and ventilate it within the internal mechanisms of the party. But as it stands, take it from me as the Director of Communication that we are still in the race. Tomorrow, God willing, we are going to go for our balloting. When we go for our balloting, and then our position on the ballot paper is determined, we will officially put it out, and we are in the race. So yeah, we are good.
Mr. Doona, you still have not answered my question. I wanted a yes or no.
That's what I'm saying. That I'm not going to.
I appreciate his contribution to the party. Well, everybody knows Mr. Kwame J. Japan through the cause of the MPP, a stalwart within the party. But you still not answered my question. I just wanted a yes or no.
Yes, but no. But it's not every question that has a yes or no answer, my brother. This one, the way I want to answer it is that we are still in the race. Whatever it is, we are ventilating it internally. The party has not said they disqualified him. So we are ventilating it internally. Tomorrow we are going for our balloting. So I don't think it's a yes or no answer I'm supposed to give you. I'm just supposed to tell you what the situation is. The situation is that Community Japan is still in the race, and tomorrow we are going for balloting.
Dona, before you picked up your forms to go contest this particular election, there were laid down rules and regulations. The laid down rules and regulations included paying, your nomination fee, paying a filing fee, and paying the development fee. Mr. Dona, as we speak, have you met all the laid down rules and regulations to contest this election?
As far as we are concerned, we've met the laid down rules and regulations. Whatever other issue is there, we are ventilating it within the party. As far as we are concerned, we have. But if the party thinks there's something we've not met, they are picking it with us, they're also picking it with them. And we are ventilating it. I don't think it's something we want to discuss in the public space. As I said, he has never been the person who drags the party in public. Whatever it is, he deals with it internally. And that's exactly what we are doing now. And as you yourself, right now, you know that there has not been any official communique from the party that he is not part or he failed the election or the party has disqualified him. This means we are still in the race. So issues happen. MPP is a family, and just like any family, there are issues. And when you are a good family member, when there are issues, you try to resolve it with the party. And as you know, he served this party for over 3 decades. He is not the one to bring the image of a party in dispute in public. Whatever the issues are, we are ventilating it internally. And I think after tomorrow's balloting and all that, everything will be clear. But we just want, we have a lot of, so one of the reasons why when the producer called, I agreed to speak is that there are so many of the MPP delegates who are concerned. My phone has been buzzing the whole day, whether we are in or out. And I just want to say that Community Japan is still in the race. Tomorrow we are going for balloting, and after the balloting, they will hear from him. So we are good. We are good, my brother.
Finally, Mr. Dona, tomorrow you are hoping to partake in the balloting of positions for the 31st January election. Does your camp wish to have any particular position on the ballot?
Oh, not necessarily. These days we will just whatever comes, we will deal with it. I mean, it's just 5 people, wherever we are placed on the ballot. I don't think it's a big deal. We will be fine. What matters for delegates is here why he is the best person to lead the party and to become the president of Ghana. So we are not having a hue and cry about which position we pick up. We just want to be on the ballot. We'll be on the ballot because having gone around the country, having met delegates, the party, a lot of who are yearning for his kind of leadership, his kind of commitment to the party. They think he's one of the people who can really build the MPP to make it as attractive as it used to be and put it in a pole position to win the next general election. So for us, that's our main goal, and whatever the number we take, we'll be fine, my brother.
So, Dona, finally, before you go, how is campaigning?
Well, so far so good. We've finished. We've done apart from 2 constituencies in the Greater Accra. We've done 32 constituencies. We just have 2 to finish. We've done some constituencies in the Ashanti region. We'll be going back to complete the remaining constituencies. So far, it's good. Meeting the delegates, you realize what they impact. I will give you one exclusive here that on a lot of occasions, when the community Japan stand up, talk, when we meet, you see at least 4 people crying, shedding tears. When they hear the sacrifices is made for the party, all the things the party has put him through, and his resolve and his ability to keep quiet, not to even try to say his part of the story because of the view that it might derail the party, and the plans he has for the party, the plans he has for Ghana, it's been very good. I mean, when one of these days you should follow us, and then I think that is where the real politics is, to see how the people on the ground, what the so-called grassroots, what their perception of politics is. When you go on these rounds, that's where you really have a real taste of what the democracy really is. And so far, it's been very good. Our message of service, sacrifice, and selflessness that public office is the purest form of service. And anybody who goes in there should go in there with the sole purpose of making the lives of the general public better, with the sole purpose of service. That is the only reason you must go into public service. If you want to make wealth and all that, your public service is not your beat, and that is not your beat. And that message that is being put across has been received very well by the delegates we've met so far. And we are very certain that by the time we meet all the delegates, and by the time we go for the election, the 31st of January, we have no doubt that the community will emerge as the flag bearer of the NPP, my brother.
Thank you very much for your time, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Paul. The owner speaks for Engineer Kwabena J. Japan, one of the NPP presidential aspirants. We understand this afternoon that he's having some challenge in meeting some of the directives or some of the criteria from the NPP as far as the payment of a development fee of 4 million cedis is concerned. But you just heard him say they are dealing with the matter, and hopefully, God willing, on Friday, when they go in for the balloting, Engineer Kwabena J. Japan will be on the ballot to contest the January 31st, 2026 presidential primaries of the NPP. Fred?
Sorry?
He wasn't definite, if you ask me. It wasn't a yes or a no.
Yes, he is trying to be really careful.
He's the director of communications.
Yes,
what do you expect?
It's no secret that his boss, Kwabena Japan, has raised some concerns with regards to the development fee and the amount which has been fixed for development fee. It comes as no surprise that we are hearing that he's not been able or he hasn't paid this particular fee. What we are not sure of is whether Mr. Kwabena Japan does not want to pay, is protesting, or he's not been able to pay. There are two different things. Whether one person doesn't want to pay or is unable to pay. You may have the means to pay and say, I wouldn't pay because you disagree with the way it's been set or the amount which has been set. And then you have the other situation where you don't have the means to pay, so you have been unable to pay. As we speak, we are not sure of what the situation is. One thing we are sure of is that indeed on Friday, which is tomorrow, the party would hold a balloting for positions on the at the premises of the party tomorrow. We are hoping to see all the 5 candidates there. Like Mr. Dona said, the party in itself hasn't issued any statement indicating that they have disqualified or they put Kwabena Japan on ice, awaiting whatever would happen in or from the National Council. But like you said earlier, what we heard from the National Council meeting, which was 2 days or 3 days ago, was that Engineer Kwabena Japan had not paid. And there were conversations about a disqualification because he hasn't met all the requirements which the party put out for all the candidates. The party in itself, as we say, usually would come out and make things clear,
issue a statement,
and let the whole public know what the situation is. Like Mr. Dona also said, this particular information is affecting their campaign in the sense
obviously
that a lot of people who would want to vote for Mr. Kwabena Japan are now calling to ask what is happening, what the situation is. I'm sure even people within his campaign who are within the regions are also not too sure of exactly what is happening within the party, within the campaign. So then there's a bit of confusion. Everybody wants to know exactly what it is. We are hoping that maybe by close of day or tomorrow morning, the party may come out and indicate what the actual situation is with Kwabena Japan and the elections for January 31st. So it's up to the party now to bring some clarity on the matter.
Talking about the party and their preparation for the election, we are told on Friday, balloting. After balloting, what next? Let's speak to someone who is very close to this action and part of the whole organization of this election. Haruna Muhammad is the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP in charge of operations to speak to us on preparation for the primaries and other activities leading up to the primaries on January 31st, 2026. Haruna, thank you very much for your time. So we are told that on Friday there's the balloting. How's it going to be done?
Thank you very much, Sammi. I would say good afternoon to your cherished viewers and you and your other strong host of this particular program, very insightful program, of course. On Friday tomorrow, the Elections Committee of the party will be conducting the balloting of positions as published by the Elections Committee, contained in a release to the general public and the media on the 29th of July 2025 as to where various candidates will be on the ballot on the day of elections. Tentatively, on the 7th, we had the National Council and NEC meeting, which was part of the schedule as presented by the Elections Committee. So on Friday, on that timeline, they will be conducting the balloting. And as soon as the balloting is done, there will be other activities that will be following the balloting. And that will be publication of notice of poll. Notice of poll will be the next, because after balloting is done, the positions of candidates are known. And this date for the publication of notice of poll is Friday, October 17th, where this will be made public and pasted at the party offices across the country and the regional offices, so that people and delegates or officers of the party will get to know where the elections is going to be done and the various candidates and their positions as it is. So after the publication of notice of poll, then the National Congress will come on Saturday, 31st January 2026. And if we don't get the 50% plus one as stipulated by the constitution of the party, then we shall move to a runoff, if any. And that will also be on Saturday, February 14th, 2026.
The National Council of the party seem to be worried about the campaigning taking place within the various camps. I've seen a statement issued by the National Council setting up an ad hoc committee where they are asking party people or supporters who are not happy as far as the campaign is concerned to send messages or call a certain phone line to address some of this. What has become necessary for the National Council to set up such an ad hoc committee?
You see, in every party and every corporate society, when elections such as this has come up, the elections committee in its wisdom and the party structure in terms of the National Council of Elders seeking to ensure that there is peaceful resolution of issues and matters relating to the party will certainly bring their wisdom to bear. And that is why that the Council of Elders, together with the Elections Committee, has put out this particular statement or setting up such teams to ensure that there is peaceful resolution of matters so that the party will be the benefactor of whatever that comes out from it. We've all been hearing the commentaries that comes from various candidates across the various camps. Some of them are very distasteful. We think that the campaigns should focus on what you can do and what you have done and how you are going to win the elections for us in 2028. So the focus must be maintained and the spotlight must be put on the purpose of which the elections is being organized, rather than dwelling on matters that would not inure to the benefit of the party and the country as a whole.
Haruna, in the last 48 hours, there's been confusion on the status of one of your candidates or one of the candidates aspiring to contest the flag bearership position, Engineer Kwabena Japan. We are told that he's been unable to meet one of the requirements, which is the payment of the 4 million developmental fee. Can you tell us the status of Kwabena Japan? Is he disqualified? Has he been put on ice? Or tomorrow, would he be joining the 5 people to ballot for positions on for the 31st January election?
First and foremost, there is no confusion from the New Patriotic Party on this particular matter. The party has received the vetting committee's report as contained in Article 10(3)(f) of the party's constitution. The elections committee has also briefed the party on the conduct of the elections and measures that are put in place before and now, and the very dates that the elections is going to be conducted. Having presented the report, the NEC and National Council looked at the report, and we are looking and working through the constitutional provisions in terms of procedure. So whatever report that has come before the National Council and NEC, before such report and publications are to be made public for the general public to know, there are indications of timelines of actions that are supposed to be done before the national party can make matters public. So we haven't issued any official statement on it not because we don't want to do, but because we are minded of the constitutional provisions of our party. And if you check in Article 10(3)(f), Roman number 4, it tells you that an aspirant who is dissatisfied with a finding or such a finding may appeal against it to the National Executive Committee within 48 hours of receipt of notice of the finding by filing an appeal in writing with the General Secretary. So the report has been made known to the party on Tuesday, and the elapse of 48 hours of somebody who is not dissatisfied, if there is any, will be concluded by the close of today. And such an appeal will also be looked at by NEC for consideration. So we are working within the timelines and procedures of the party based on the Constitution. So we will speak on this matter. As we stand now, we have not had any official communication on any disqualification or any other matter. So we are not in difficulty. If we were in any difficulty or there is something to communicate, we will not hesitate to communicate to the general public and the rank and file of the party.
So finally, so you can confidently tell us that tomorrow, Friday, all 5 aspirants or candidates will be partaking in the balloting.
All candidates who have met with all the guidelines as issued on 29th of July and complied with will be balloting on Friday, that is tomorrow. Nobody is going to be excused of any specific guideline of the party. The guidelines of the party is grounded in the party's constitution, and every member who wants to lead the party into the 2028 elections must abide by. So tomorrow, they have invited all of them, and the criteria that is used for the balloting will be executed, and that exactly will give us the opportunity to ascertain. So anybody that fulfills the requirement will certainly go in for balloting. So if you see that all of them have gone in and they have been allowed to ballot, means that they have all met the conditions. And I say it again, whoever does not meet the conditions would not be allowed to do balloting.
Thank you very much, Haruna Mohammed. Haruna Mohammed is the Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations for the MPP. We'll take a short break and come back and continue with our conversation.
This October, Northern Ghana takes center stage. Get ready for the Northern Business Fair 2025, the ultimate one-stop shop for everything made in Ghana in the Savannah, Northern, Northeast, Upper East, and Upper West regions. From hand-woven smocks and intricate crafts to modern manufacturing, innovative packaging of made-in-Ghana products, and thriving homegrown businesses, it's a vibrant celebration of talent, innovation, and authenticity. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citiefm, it's the biggest trade fair showcasing Kenyan SMEs, startups, research bodies, and indigenous brands making waves across the nation. It's happening on Saturday the 25th and Sunday the 26th of October 2025 at the Tamale Sports Stadium. The time is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Want to exhibit? Call 0205-973-973 today and book your space. Don't just hear about it, see it, experience it, and live it. The Northern Business Fair, your market, your connections, your growth. The Northern Business Fair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citiefm and is proudly sponsored by EcoBank, Side Hustle, the Ghana Enterprises Agency, and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Citiuation Room, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Citiuation Room, we talk politics and everything that has to do with politics in this country. Just a while ago, we've been dealing with an issue within the New Patriotic Party where it's likely that one of the candidates may not be able to contest in the party's January 31st, 2026 presidential primaries. Where the stone is having issues. I'm talking about Engineer Kwabena J. Japan, who is vying to lead the NPP into the election of 2028. We're having issues. We are told that in raising the 4 million Ghana cedi development fee as stated in the party's rules and regulations and guidelines as far as the primaries is concerned. His camp says that they are dealing with this matter. The Deputy General Secretary of the NPP says when the 48 hours given or the grace period given is not met, the party will go ahead and implement or do whatever the committee that was set up to ensure that this election takes place is concerned. So Mr. Kwabena Japan has by close of today or early tomorrow morning to raise the certain amount of money to be part of the 5 individuals who have come out to say that they will want to lead the NPP going to the election of 2028. So aside the NPP presidential primaries, the party also says, or the information we are getting is that in August or September of 2026, the party may also organize elections to elect national officers for the NPP. Somewhere last week, we told you the individuals who are gunning to be national chairman for the New Patriotic Party. Today, the focus again is on the NPP, but this time we are shifting to those who are gunning to be general secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Already, 4 individuals have shown their faces that they want to be the chief executive officers or the CEOs of the New Patriotic Party. As they were, the general secretary of every political party is the CEO or the manager who drives the day-to-day administration of the political party. The NPP currently has 4 individuals, including the incumbent general secretary who has declared his intention to seek re-election or run again to be the general secretary of the NPP. So Fred and I will continue the conversation on the internal election and who wants to be the next general secretary of the NPP. Fred, you're back again.
Yes, you said 4 individuals so far.
So far.
You have now till somewhere
August or September.
So from now, between now and August or September, anybody can pop up to contest the position of general secretary. Probably people are just marching and jogging on the.
Or people want to clear the flag bearer election.
Finish with the flag bearer and
do whatever they want to do.
But like you rightly said, so we know about 4 people who have made their intentions clear or have given indications about the fact that they want to contest this particular election. Let's start with the incumbent, the General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kodia. Justin Frimpong Kodia has been there since if I'm not
2022
till now. So he's now about to serve his first term of being General Secretary. Who is Justin Frimpong Kodia? What has he done, and what has been his achievements as General Secretary of the party?
Well, he's a lawyer by profession. He started his political life from the Ashanti region. I think he was the Ashanti regional, one of the officers within the Ashanti region. I think youth organizer also within the Ashanti region before he rose up to become the General Secretary. But before then, he was the CEO of the Youth Employment Agency, YEI, as they call it, when the Akufo-Addo administration came in 2017. He defeated then incumbent General Secretary John Boydu at that particular election, which took place at Accra Sports Stadium, or I think July 2022 or so. That was when, a lot of people didn't think that he was going to win. The odds were all in favor of John Boydu, but this young man, came into fill that position, defeated John Boydu in that election, causing a lot of, surprise for a number of people. He's seeking to, retain that position. For him, he believes that he's done a good job. He's administered the party very, very well, even though the party suffered its biggest defeat. He has come out to say that it's not the fault of the party. The then government should also take portions of the blame as far as the defeat is concerned. So for him, he has done an excellent job. The grassroots can attest to his commitment and his will to ensure that things are done rightly within the MPP. So he needs another chance to lead the MPP again as General Secretary to ensure that the party's objectives, goals, and ambitions are fulfilled and help the party win the election of 2028. But those against him believe that as General Secretary of the MPP, he led the party to his heaviest defeat. And so there's no trump card again for him to want to come back as General Secretary. And then many have said that there's a need to clear all national executives who were in office when the party lost the election of 2024. And so he being a serving national officer at that time, the accusation is that all of them should go. But he believes that General Secretary, he did an excellent job. You can compare his achievements, his record, and how stable he's been able to keep the party and the stability of the party. And so he has done a good job, and delegates should reward the good job that he's done so far.
So I want you to tell us something. Looking at the history of the party and looking at General Secretaries, what has been the position of the party when it comes to General Secretaries after elections where they lost? So, for example, the party went into the 2008 elections. At the time, I think that
2008 was Nano Hininto was General Secretary. Yes.
What happened to him after the 2008 elections? In 2012, whoever was General Secretary, what happened to them? Did they contest? When they contested, what happened?
Nano Hininto did not contest again after the 2008 election. He, McMenu, and some other national officers decided not to contest again. Then came Sir John, the late Sir John, who contested the General Secretary of the MPP. After the party's defeat in the 2012 election, Sir John wanted to contest again, but he lost to Kwabena J. Japan. That particular election took place in the Tamale Sports Stadium. That brought in Paul Afoko, Kwabena Japan, and those executives who came in. And so all those who have decided to contest again after a major election lost. So you could cite a sample of Sir John, as I mentioned earlier. For Nano Hininto, he didn't contest again, decided not to run again. But Sir John did. He lost to Kwabena J. Japan. When the MPP was going into the election of 2016, Kwabena Japan wasn't the General Secretary. So he and Afoko had all been suspended. And so John Boydu was the acting General Secretary of the MPP. So after he led as General Secretary and the party won the 2016 election, he was then acting. And so in 2018, the party held another internal election, and John Boydu stood as General Secretary, and then he won that particular election in Kofodia. That brought in Freddie Blay, John Boydu, Sammi Wiafe as national organizer, Nana B as national youth organizer, and the rest. So that was the set of leaders who were elected. But then from the history of the MPP, after a heavy defeat, any General Secretary who tries to make an attempt to clinch their position has never survived. Never survived.
So it means that this is going to be a very difficult.
It's going to be a very difficult one. If he's able to win, he'll make history. He will make history as the General Secretary who has won his position after a major defeat of the political party or the party in a major election.
He looks like one of the youngest to have taken the position as General Secretary.
He is. Looking at the history of the MPP, so talk about Ajeni Mboatin when the party's formation, then you come to John Boydu, Sir John, Kwabena J. Japan. He's the youngest. Damboche. Damboche. Thank you, Damboche. Ohininto. He seems to be the youngest General Secretary of the MPP as of now.
From the incumbents, let's look at those who want to
unseat
him as General Secretary. Let's start with Eugene Boakye-Antwi, former MP for Suben. Who is he and how is he getting into this race?
Well, Eugene was a former Deputy Minister of Works and Housing under the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration. In the second term, he was not given any position. Many people consider him, I'm using my words advice, as the rebel, because he believes that there are some conventions within the party that must change. He believes in some radical changes within the MPP. And when you listen to his interviews and the likes, he's one of the people who've advocated for all the current executives to leave, for new individuals, for fresh face to occupy the realms of the party as national officers. So he has his base in the Ashanti from Subin, as you mentioned. But a lot of people, feel that the kind of ideologies that he has, being the General Secretary of the MPP, will be trouble for the party because of the rebel nature and the radicalism that he wants to bring within the MPP. The MPP is seen to be a liberal party, conventions. So getting someone outside who doesn't believe in those doctrines is always a difficulty for anybody who wants to occupy that space. But the critics or the people who support him believe that the MPP as of now needs some radicalism to change things for the party. They believe that the party needs a new phase.
Paradigm shift.
A paradigm shift from the old ways to a new ways, because they believe that the party is growing. The years of 1992, has changed. And so bringing new faces, new individuals who will bring back the good old days of the MPP. And he's one of the people who always preach that the party must go back to the old ways, the proper Dankwa Buzia Dombo tradition. And it looks like his campaign line follows similar to what Kwabena Japan has been saying. When you listen to the two of them speak, it looks like they all speak from the same hymn book. And so they believe that some radicalism should take place, bring the MPP back, the party that they've always known from childhood, and that there need to be some changes within the MPP as it stands.
How different is his campaign from that of Kwabena Japan heading to the 2012 elections? Because, when we're going in 2011, 2012, when the MPP went for the internal elections, the national elections, one of the people who were seen to be hardliners were Kwabena Japan. How different is Eugene Boakye-Antwi?
It looks like the same line.
Japan. And how different from where you stand would you be his trajectory, looking at what he wants to do in the MPP from Kwabena Japan? Because you don't forget, Kwabena Japan had his own issues within the party.
And remember, Kwabena Japan didn't finish his tenure as General Secretary.
Yeah, so I'm asking, is it the same trajectory, looking at his position and what he's preaching?
He believes that there should be changes within the MPP. Kwabena Japan preached same. And even as of now, he believes that there should be a new dawn within the MPP. MPP should change from some old ways into some new ways. When you listen to Eugene Antwi, it's a similar trend. It's a similar conversation. It's a similar campaign that he's pushing. For him, he's bringing in some radicalism, some drastic changes within the MPP to make the MPP the attractive political party that it used to. He believes that the party has lost its values. For him, when you listen to him, he believes that MPP has lost its value. And then certain individuals within the party have hijacked the party. And he wants to break that hijack. The more reason why he's stepping foot in there to be the next General Secretary of the MPP.
Now, before we go to the next one, let me just draw people's attention. Eugene Antwi is one of the people who led MPs, at the time he was MP for Suben, to go and fight the president, to challenge the president and insist that the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, was removed or is removed as finance minister. And he was one of the people who actually came out to speak on that positions. On that position, even though there were a number of MPs, he was one of the faces, of that group which came out openly to speak. So that's Eugene entry for you. Like Sammi said, he's a radical. He speaks his mind.
He speaks his mind, yeah.
He talks
He
about
speaks his mind.
and would boldly follow what he believes. That's Eugene entry. Let's go on. We're still within the General Secretary position and still in Parliament. There's another former MP who wants to contest this particular position. This former MP, Sylvester Tete.
Yeah.
He is coming from a group of people who were believed to be Alan Tremantin boys. He actually openly campaigned for Alan Tremantin. When Alan left the party, he opted to stay within the party. He disagreed with Alan leaving the party. Sylvester Tete, one-term MP, what has been his position? What's been his trajectory within the New Patriotic Party?
His decision to follow Alan in the last presidential primary resulted in him losing his seat in his constituency. It was English, Botiano English.
He didn't lose
primaries.
primaries.
The primaries he won. I mean, I'm talking about the main election.
Okay.
You know, a lot of MP people decide not to come out and come and vote for him. He was MP for Botiano English and Mafrom. It's on my road. So I know their constituency very well. I know national constituency officers who decide to even stay off from that election because they believe that he didn't toe the line of the party. He decided to go and support another candidate against the established candidates. He once made an attempt to contest the Ningo Pram against the late E.T. Mensah.
Yes.
I think he made 3 attempts, but then he wasn't successful. And so he decided to come to Botiano English and Mafrom, to come and contest. At the latter part of the Akufo-Addo administration, he was made Deputy Information Minister. And then he was made board chair for the Ghana Enterprises Agency. Now, he believes that the MPP needs a change. The MPP must move from the old ways, as almost all the candidates, are preaching. And Sly is an individual who believes in practicalism. He believes that, things must be done in the right way. Things must be done in a certain way. And so if there are things not right, he should be in a position to streamline. And as General Secretary, he believes that he will have that power to ensure the changes that he wants to ensure is done within the New Patriotic. But then his only challenge is that his decision to go and follow Alan Tremantin in the last presidential primaries, it will always be a tag on him. And delegates of the party will always use that against him. So I don't see his chances to be bright if he, wants to contest fully as General Secretary. That may worry him. And anybody who has had an association with Alan Tremantin and made an attempt to contest a national position always has challenges. Always has challenges. And that challenges will not be drawn away from him. He's going to suffer the same challenges. From the history of the MPP and the things that have followed within the MPP, and anybody who has made or had a close association with Alan Tremantin, the party always sees these people in quotes as outcasts. And so for him as an individual, that tag will be on him and it will be a difficulty for him.
Usually when we go into such elections or internal elections, we talk about their bases.
Yeah.
So you look at Frimpong, Justice Frimpong, Justin Frimpong Kodia. You say his base is within the Ashanti region. You look at Eugene Entry. Someone will also argue that his base is within the Ashanti region. What is the base of Sylvester Sylvester?
You will say Accra, but in Accra, you ask again, where in Accra? Because apart from he contests, he's done Ningo Pampam. Will he say Ningo Pampam will be his base? I don't know. Will he say Botiano English and Manfro will be his base? I don't know. For you can't point a direct place that this is his base. Remember when Freddie Wasimewu wanted to be national chairman of the MPP in 2018? Sly was his campaign manager. Yeah. So as to whether he will call specifically as his base, I do not know. I do not know where he will call as his base.
Moving on from Sly Tete, let's go to Dr. China, Dr. Charles Dramina, who is now the current treasurer, national treasurer of the party. He wants to take the position of General Secretary. Who is Dr. China and what is he bringing on the table?
Well, he contested national treasurer, as you mentioned, and then he won. He's still the national treasurer of the MPP. He was deputy Ghana ambassador to China during the era of Akufo-Addo, and then he came down to contest the national position and won. He believes that it's about time he moved from the national treasurer to become the national, become the general secretary of the MPP. And his come out publicly to support the candidature of Kennedy Japan in the party's, presidential primaries. His success as General Secretary will determine the outcome of the party's presidential primaries.
Can you explain?
Depending on the outcome of the presidential primaries on January 31st, we will know whether he has a better chance of winning General Secretary or not, because of who he has decided to stake his neck out for. If Kennedy is able to win the primaries, he has a bright chance of becoming the General Secretary of the MPP. If Kennedy fails in that bid, his chances of becoming General Secretary is slim and will be slim. Every aspirant wants to be associated with the winning candidate. And so if Bawumia should win, opponents of him will use that against him. And that will go against him, and he may not be able to win the General Secretary. But if Kennedy should win, it will be an added advantage to him and his candidature, and he may use that one to win as General Secretary. And so his decision to contest and decide to stick his neck out for a candidate is dangerous for his candidature. But then determine the outcome of the primaries, will know where he stands and if he will win or he will not win.
Talking about his position as to who he wants to support as General Secretary, and looking at the other three candidates, has any of them made or come out openly to support any of these presidential candidates?
None I'm aware of apart from Dr. China. None I'm aware of apart from Dr. China. The General Secretary has never mentioned who he supports, even though they all have their preference. I've not heard Sly say anywhere who he supports. Neither have I heard Eugene Entry also mention which of the candidates he supports. It's only Dr. China who I have heard publicly endorsing the candidature of Kennedy Ohene Japan.
Among these candidates, who do you think, from where you stand, would really have the support of the party?
It will be the General Secretary.
Or who do you think party members would want to support to move the party forward after 2020?
It will be the General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kodia. Because if you look at, if there's only the 4 candidates who are contesting, then it will be Justin Frimpong Kodia. If not other candidates or not other individuals should join, it will be Justin Frimpong Kodia, because he has the support of the current national executives, he has the support of some of the constituency executives, some of the regional executives, and even some of the polling stations, even though they will not take part in the election. He still has some support and some command base, because he's still the General Secretary of the MPP. And so among all the 4 of them, he stands tall.
Yes, but as we speak now.
As we speak.
But you know that before we get to August,
a lot of things will
internal
change.
elections from polling station all the way to constituency to regional. So some of these people may or might lose their positions as executives and may not be delegates.
Exactly.
So depending on what happens within that internal process, then some of these dynamics may change, right?
Definitely. From now till August 2026 or September 2026, it's a long time for anybody to change his or her mind. So, but as at now we speak, he's the tall person. Whether it will be the same in August or September, time will tell.
The MPP really has
a long way to go.
A long way and a really difficult task, having to deal with presidential elections, having to deal with national, internal, executive position elections. It would be an interesting watch in the coming months. As we know, tomorrow or Friday, we'll all be at the national headquarters of the party, where we'll be observing the balloting. So tomorrow's balloting is going to be 2 things. One, will all 5 people
be present?
No, they may be present, but will all 5 people
be on the ballot?
Partake in the balloting? Or would someone be disqualified? Would former General Secretary Kwabena Japan be on the ballot or not? Tomorrow, we would all see when the party concludes its balloting tomorrow afternoon.
It's been another exciting situation that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sammi Wiafe. His name is Fred Tete Jabano. We brought you The Situation. We come your way again. May the good Lord be with us all.